So, brothers and sisters, your present demand today here in America for more of the white man's jobs, which are already scarce, can lead to nothing but violence and bloodshed. It may even lead to a race war, a bloody race war. And it is the government itself that is now pressing the people of this country into a racial bloodbath. Government policy is doing nothing but instigating the two races toward nothing but a clash, a racial bloodbath. But what white people in this country should be made to understand, this is a new day. And our people, this generation, is a new people. That old Uncle Tom type Negro is dead. He's gone. Tom is gone. Our people have no more fear of anyone. They have no more fear of anything. We're not afraid to go to jail. We're not afraid to give our very life itself. And what's most important, we're not afraid to take the life of those who try and take our life. Did you hear what I said? This is the basic difference between this generation and former generations. We'll give our life just like that. But not only will we give it, we'll take the life of the one who's trying to take our life. We believe in a fair exchange. We believe in an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth, and a head for a head, and a life for a life. That's justice. There's nothing wrong with that. An eye for an eye, and tooth for a tooth, and an arm for an arm, and a head for a head, and a life for a life. When you have that kind of philosophy, no one will put his hands on you. You walk around here cheek-turning and enemy-loving while you'll have knots on your body from the top of your head to the sole of your feet. If the white man doesn't turn his other cheek, you don't need to turn your other cheek. If the white man doesn't learn to love his enemy, you don't need to love your enemy. If the white man doesn't give up his life easily, you don't need to give up your life easily. If it's hard to take his life, it should be hard for him to take your life. That's justice. Why, his Bible even says, he who kills with the sword will be killed by the sword. That's what his Bible says in the 13th chapter of Revelation in his Bible. He who leads into captivity will go into captivity. That's justice. How you going to make a man a slave and think you're too good to be made a slave? Well, if the Bible is right, then the white man has to go into slavery. If the Bible is right, then the white man has to be lynched. If the Bible is right, the white man has to be made to suffer the same things that our people have suffered. It's justice. If this is the price of freedom, we won't hesitate to pay that price. By trying to oppose the divine solution that God has given to the American government will actually provoke another civil war. And by that I mean, this government will provoke a civil war among white people by trying to force white people to give their jobs to our people. And our people will provoke a race war by trying to make white people give up their jobs. Don't you mislead yourself. If the government tries to force them to give us jobs, the government's going to have a civil war. And if you try and force them to give up their jobs, you're going to make up a race war. These are facts. An idiot can see through these. This racial dilemma poses a serious problem for white America. Civil war between white people on the one hand, and a race war between the whites and their 20 million ex-slaves on the other hand. And the entire dark world is watching, waiting to see what the American government will do to solve this problem once and for all. We must have a permanent solution. A temporary solution won't do. 20 million ex-slaves must be permanently separated from our former slave masters. and placed on some land that we can call our own. And then we can create our own jobs. Then we can control our own economy. And then we can solve our own problems instead of waiting for the American white man to solve our problems for us. On our own land, we can set up farms. On our own land, we can set up factories. On our own land, we can set up businesses. We can establish our own government and become an independent nation. And once we become separated from the jurisdiction of this white nation, we can then enter into trade and commerce for ourselves with other independent nations. This is the only solution. We must be an independent nation. We now number 20 million black people, a nation within a nation, a black nation within a white nation, crying to be born, crying to be set free. And let us go our way. If he doesn't love us, we sure don't love him. And if he doesn't want us, we sure don't want him. In our own land, we can establish our own agricultural system. We can farm. We can grow food to feed our own people. We can raise cattle. We can use the hide, the leather, the wool to make clothing for our own people. We can dig the clay from the earth and bake it into bricks and build houses and homes for our people. We can chop down trees and turn it into lumber and build furniture to furnish homes for our people. When I was in Africa, I saw Africans making their own furniture. I mean modern furniture, up-to-date furniture, sharp furniture. They over there making their own, you over here begging Goldberg for his. $1 down and $1 when I catch you. And Goldberg always catches you. If Goldberg can't catch you, Goldstein will catch you. And if Goldstein don't catch you, Greenberg will catch you. $1 down and $1 later, and later is always now. When we have our own land, we can dig the natural resources from the earth. Land is the basis of all economic security. Land is essential to freedom, justice, and equality. Land is essential to true independence. Africans aren't asking for integration. They're asking for land. In Kenya, they told the white man to get out. Uganda, they told the white man to get out. Tanganyika, they told the white man to get out. In Guinea, they told the white man to get out. In Egypt, they told the white man to get out. In Morocco and Algeria, they told the white man to get out. In Congo, Lumumba told the white man to get out. And in southern Rhodesia, they're telling the white man to get out. In northern Rhodesia, they're telling the white man to get out. In Angola, they're telling the white man to get out. In Southwest Africa, they're telling the white man to get out. In Mozambique, they're telling the white man to get out. And in South Africa, they're telling the white man to get out. And he says he's not going, but he got another thought coming. He's going. He'll either walk out or swim out in his own blood. He'll walk out of his own volition, or he'll swim out in his own blood. Because the black man has awakened, and the black man has united. And where there's unity, there's strength. You don't need any guns. You just need some unity and a blade when it gets dark.